Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to AFORadio.com. I am Mag, and this afternoon on the show, we'll be talking about Malaysia's first memoir about living life with a cleft lip and palate. Okay, so the book is called Born to Smile, and it takes us on this journey of this beautiful lady. Her name is Nora Abu Hassan, and it's basically her life journey of accepting her birth destiny to live with a facial deformity. Now, she was born with a cleft lip and palate. She had to undergo several surgeries, deal with school bullies, the lack of self-confidence, and I would assume anxiety as well, and depression. You never know. Okay. So, in a nutshell, I would have to say that it's a story of a very strong woman, how she overcame everything that came against her and towards her, her whole transformation, and how she learned to accept herself and to gain that self confidence and self love as well. So it's time for me to bring on my guest this afternoon, the lovely Nora Abu Hassan. Hi, Nora.
Hi, Mary. Thank you, Mac. Thank you for having me. It's such a privilege and pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much.
It is an honor for us to have you on the show as
Oh,
well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm doing good. Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah, I'm doing good. Thank you so much. And I hope you're doing great too.
Yes, we are. I mean, slowly but surely, hopefully everyone will be a little better, yeah, with this
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
COVID season. And we pray
We
that it
will.
goes away soon as well. Good?
Yeah, we all pray. We all pray for divine intervention. That's what we want right now.
Definitely. Definitely. Now, Nora, tell us more about your book. It's a very interesting story. I like that you have come forward to actually tell your story. So tell us more about Born to Smile and what inspired the book.
Okay, the book Born to Smile is actually a memoir about how I felt and how I accepted my birth destiny. See, I was born
Okay.
with a cleft lip and palate,
Uh-huh.
and it says about the multiple surgeries I had to undergo, and then also the childhood bullies, and how
Hmm.
I had to go for a journey of self actualization, and actually really accepted my birth destiny. So that is
Definitely.
actually what covers Born to Smile in a
Okay. So
nutshell.
so when did you get this inspiration? When did you decide I want to do this? I want to write this book?
You see, all along, admittedly, honestly, that I was not able to accept my birth destiny. And after self reflection again, I realized that the reasons why I was not able to accept it was because of the emotional things that came with it, with the childhood bullies, and not really, could talk to anybody about it except for my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then deep down inside, I knew that I had an issue with self-acceptance. So when I went for this journey and then I realized that, hey, you know what? I've accepted my birth destiny, and I asked myself, what else is next?
Yeah.
And I know that currently, locally, there isn't any book. If you go to all the bookstores, there are books on maybe on domestic abuse or surviving a plane crash or surviving cancer or kidney issues, but not a cleft lip and palate. And currently, a statistic tells us that 600 children worldwide are born with a cleft lip and palate. So I said, if hopefully they will be inspired by the story and telling themselves that it's okay. God has made us all, God has made human being all different and we are born with this situation. But if they can read the book and say, hey, you know what? It is okay, but it is a journey.
Yeah.
It is
Indeed.
a journey. Yes.
Indeed, it is. Now, every one of us is born very unique and special in our own ways, like you said, you know. So
Precisely,
it's
precisely.
nice to know that you are reaching out to those who probably have the same issues as well, born with a cleft lip or a palate, and
Mm.
how they're going through. You probably understand exactly what they're going through right
I
now.
do, I do, precisely, I do.
All right,
And
all right,
yeah, because I've gone through that journey. So maybe
correct.
they could relate to another person that have gone through that journey.
Definitely. So it takes
Mm,
it to a whole new level altogether. Now, for those of our viewers who are watching and listening right now, whether it's through the app or on Facebook Live, if you're not too sure what is a cleft lip or a cleft palate. Okay, how was it like for
Mm,
Nora growing up with this facial deformity? We'll come
mm.
back after the break and talk about it. In the meantime, feel free to share the post. Feel free to share this live stream as well, and tell your friends about it because it's a brilliant book, and I think it's time that everybody knew Nora's story as well. We'll come back in just a bit right here on AFORadio.com.
See you soon.
Let's get it on. We got some food bread made for you. Let's get it on. We got some food bread made for you. The music.
AFO.
AFO.
AFO. AFO. Hold up. It's AFORadio.com.
Let's go.
It is live
It is.
on our Facebook.
You go to AFO Radio.
Let's get it on. We got some food bread made for you. The music.
AFO.
AFO.
AFO. AFO. Hold up. It's AFORadio.com.
Let's go. Let's get it on. We got some food bread made for you. The music.
AFO.
AFO.
AFO. AFO. Hold up. It's AFORadio.com.
Let's go.
And Lil Wayne with I'm Into You right here on AFORadio.com. Hi, good afternoon. I am Mag, and this afternoon I'm talking to the lady behind the book Born to Smile. Her name is Nora Abu Hassan, and she's with me this afternoon on the show, and she's telling us her story. So thank you so much for sharing that part of your life with us
You're
on AFO
welcome. You're
Radio.
most welcome.
Now,
You're
Nora,
welcome.
I'm curious. There may be people who are not too sure what is a cleft lip, what is a cleft palate. Maybe you can explain that to us.
Okay, there are four conditions of cleft lip and palate. One of it is cleft lip. That means that lip is okay, but that palate is broken into two.
Okay.
Okay? Lip okay, palate. The other condition is where you have a cleft lip where the lip is broken, but the palate is okay.
Okay.
Okay, the third condition is a unilateral cleft lip and palate, where you have a break on your lip, in your palate, which I have. Okay, and the
Okay.
fourth condition is a bilateral cleft lip and palate, where there are two breaks on your upper lip and inside your palate. So basically, there's
Okay.
four conditions. Yes.
I see. And what causes this?
You know what? If you ask the most prominent plastic surgeon in the world, they would say there is no reasons as to why that a child and or a baby would have a cleft lip and palate. But there is evidence that genetics play a high chance in having
I
your
see.
child having a cleft lip and palate. Yes,
Okay.
genetics.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
May
that
or
really,
not, may
sorry?
or may not, may or may not. Even like if you have no genetics in your family, the child may have a cleft lip and palate.
All right. Okay. All right. So there really isn't one identified reason behind a
No,
cleft lip or a cleft
no,
palate. Yeah.
precisely no.
All right. Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay. So for those of you who are watching this afternoon, if you have questions that you'd like to ask Nora, or if you'd like to send messages to cheer her up, or perhaps inspire her and motivate her to keep on going as well, you can drop your messages right now. We've got a message from James Fu who's cheering you on as well, and he says, "Good job." So I like that. Thank you
Yes.
so much, James, for your message. Now, Nora, tell us, how was it like? How was it like growing up living with a cleft lip and a cleft palate?
You see, when a child has a cleft lip and palate, the surgeries is not just once. Okay, like for me, my first surgery was at 3 months old. I had to do my cleft lip, and then I had to do my cleft lip again, and then you have to do your cleft palate again, and then you have to do your revision of your nose because when you have a cleft lip and palate, your nose is also deformed.
I
So as you
see.
yes, precisely because it affects your lip, your mouth, and also your nose. And
Okay.
for us having a cleft palate, we also need to go for speech therapy. All right,
Okay.
because it affects our
It impairs
the
your
way
speech as well.
it affects your speech. You'll be having a very high nasal tone.
Okay.
Okay, so as you go to school, having these multiple surgeries, your nose and your lip will still look different from the rest. So this is
Okay.
where the other kids would realize that, hey, you know what? Her nose is singing, her mulut is singing. And this is where some children may get bullied, some children may not get bullied, but
Definitely.
roughly kids are being children and sometimes we cannot blame these children for bullying other children. I'm sorry,
All
but
right.
my phone is giving
I understand. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I know how that probably would look like to other children. You know, you look at your friend and you're going, "Hey, why is my friend different? You know, why is my friend not the same? Why is her lip like that? And why is her palate like that as well?" Because I went to school with a girl who also had a cleft lip.
I
Back
see.
then, it never really hit me to ask her anything, so I don't
Yes,
know which four or which one of the four that you mentioned she had,
right,
but
right,
yeah,
right.
I
Yes,
remember going to school seeing
and
her, but yeah, you can probably imagine that it does kind of get in the way of confidence of a person as well.
yes, especially when children start calling you names.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
had incidences where children called me name because I used to go to Agama school and the
Yes.
sekolah kebangsaan, and at Agama school there would be this young boy that would be calling me names.
Mm-hmm.
So and you wouldn't know, you cannot even identify the faces, and then you go to primary school, not much the children in the classroom, but you go to the canteen and people would be whispering behind your back, and they're talking about you or be calling you names, so it affected my self-esteem and my self-confidence because
Definitely.
you're talking about revision work, yeah, Mac. You can only do revision work at 17 years old.
Yeah.
No plastic
Oh,
surgery,
okay.
Yes, yes. I'm talking about revision, refinement, but repair, yes, you have to do when you're a baby. But after that, like if you want to refine your nose or go for aesthetic, that means rhinoplasty or whatever it is, you only can do it at 17. So from
Yep.
the age of maybe perhaps 7, going to school up to 17 before you go for your rhinoplasty or your revision work, you'll be looking slightly different.
Okay. So
Yeah.
between the ages of being born until 17, when you can actually start doing something, what
Yeah.
happens then?
Aesthetic.
Are
I'm
there
talking
any
about aesthetic.
processes that you need to do?
Definitely, you have to repair your cleft lip.
Okay.
All right. You have to repair your cleft lip and you have to repair your cleft palate. But I'm talking about aesthetic.
Aesthetic. Okay.
Refinement work only can be done. No plastic surgeon will touch a child's nose before he or she reaches at the age of 17 because that's when the
Definitely.
face will stop growing.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
what is done to a person who actually has a cleft lip or a cleft palate as they grow up?
As they grow up, like from the age of the baby up to
Mm,
17, they have to
yes.
repair the break.
Okay.
On they will have to they have to stitch the break, right? And also the palette. They have to repair the palette. But like I said again, if you want to do it at starting, you can only do it at 17, where you can go for rhinoplasty or you can go for lip revision, you know,
Okay.
to normalize your lips. You cannot do
Okay.
that with a young child. They can only
Okay.
repair, basic
Okay.
repair.
When you say repair, what are we looking at?
Stitching the torn, the break, stitching.
Okay. So
Like
it can be completely stitched and it can completely be
oh yeah.
repaired? Yeah.
It can be repaired, but the scars right now at our, at this age, the repair work is amazing. Sometimes you cannot even see the scar. You can see like slight scar. So there are
Definitely.
things that you can actually, refine the scars. But if you were born during my time, which is 1960s, the repair of the scar is not that refined. But we understand because we are all from the older generation. You know what I mean? But the new generation, like amazing, the
Technology.
amazing, yes.
Ah, I
You will have
see.
like, you still have a scar on your lip. If people coming from my generation, you still have the scar. So again, it takes time for you to actually revise the scar or refine the scar. You don't want to see the scars too obvious, but it's what is 1960s, 1970s, but we're talking about way back then.
Okay,
Yeah,
understood. All right.
yeah.
Okay, so does it take like a one-off surgery to repair, or does it take like years for it to be repaired?
The repair work will be, you can do it, repair
Anytime.
it anytime. You can do the palette. But for me, for my own personal experience, my palette was repaired twice.
I see. Okay.
Okay, and my lip was also repaired twice.
Okay. All right.
Yes, for
And
me.
then
But
you,
it all differs on the child's because, like I said, some only have a cleft lip, some only
yep,
have a cleft palate, some have a cleft lip and cleft palate, some have a bilateral cleft lip and palate. Yes,
correct.
so
All
it's all
right. Okay.
different. It's all different. Yes.
Definitely. Everybody's unique and everybody has a different way of adjusting to things as well. Okay,
Correct.
when we come back after the break, we want to talk about Nora and how she felt and is if there are other emotions and feelings that are still haunting her from her childhood, So we'll talk about that when we get back next on AFO Radio.
Let's get it on. We got some bread made for you.
AFO.
AFO.
AFO. AFO. Hold up. It's AFOradio.com.
Let's go.
All right,
Okay.
because it affects our
It impairs your speech as well.
it affects your speech. You'll be having a very high nasal tone.
Okay. Oh, there's 11 people watching. She's got a lot of
I still
followers
have
though.
problems. I
Let's get it on. We got some bread made for you.
The music.
AFO.
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 AFO. Hold up. It's AFOradio.com.
Let's go. Let's get it on. We got some bread made for you.
The music.
AFO.
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 AFO. Hold up. It's AFOradio.com.
Let's go.
Good afternoon. I am Mag, and this afternoon on the show, I'm talking to the author and the beautiful lady behind the book, Born to Smile, Nora Abu Hassan. Welcome to the show once again, Nora.
Thank
Now, this afternoon is a very interesting afternoon for me because I've seen people with cleft lip, but I've never heard their story. So it's one of those days where you get to speak to someone and hear their thoughts on what they've gone through in their life as well. So I thank you for that, Nora. Now,
you.
it's been many, many years since you've actually, left school, I'm sure, right? So remembering whatever that you've gone through back then, right? Are there any of those feelings still lingering in you that keeps haunting you,
No.
that you had to go through? No?
Honestly, no. I'm good now. I'm okay now. But I really want to have a very strong message out to society that, can we all try? I know that some people say to me that eradicating bullying is really not possible, but if we
Yep.
can just try our very best to, send a very strong message out to society that can we try to be kind? We're not asking for sympathy, we're just asking for kindness.
Kindness.
If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it
Don't
at
say.
all. And that's it. I'm okay now. No, I mean, whatever I went through, I think, even not for me, but even for people, whatever uh, challenges or adversities that we go through, it makes us stronger.
Definitely.
I think that's the thing that we all should understand, that, we all go through life challenges. My life challenge was being born with the, facial deformity or CLP, but other viewers out there may have their own life challenges. Everyone's got different experiences, different baggages, different emotional issues. So if you all can say to ourselves that, what, these challenges make us who we are. So
Definitely.
to answer you, no,
Okay. So
you
now
know,
that there's no hard
no,
feelings, no bad feelings anymore, what
yeah.
was the journey like getting there?
Well,
Especially being a girl, growing up, we're a little bit more sensitive as well, right?
yes,
So
yes.
the emotional journey would have been a little bit more difficult to adapt to. Yes?
Okay, what happened was, as you can, if people read the book, I actually went for my external repair work. Okay,
Okay.
I did the repairs, I did the rhinoplasty. I had several rhinoplasty because the first one was, I didn't like it. Second, I had issue with the rhinoplasty, and the third one had some more issues. Okay,
Hmm.
so overall, externally, you can see that it's been repaired, but internally, I was actually a wreck because I
Okay.
was not able to talk about it, not
Hmm.
even to my kids. I've got three
Okay.
children, and when they were growing up, I mean, my kids are 30, 28, and 15 now. So I was not able to even speak to my two eldest daughters about it. But I was keeping it inside me, and I was like, I want to talk, but because of the emotional scarring at that point of time, I kept it hidden. So
Yeah.
I acknowledged and I realized that, what, I have an issue with accepting my birth destiny. So what happened was I actually acknowledged the fact and I seek for solution. And I went
Okay.
on a journey of self-actualization. So again, when I realized and I accepted it, I said, what else is next? And hence the birth of Born to Smile.
How long did that journey take? I mean,
Okay,
that whole journey of self-actualization, the whole journey of accepting what has come to you or what has been given to you, because it's destiny, right? It must
okay.
have taken a while.
It did. The first person that I actually went to hear was Anthony Robbins in 2000.
Okay.
Okay, but whenever I go, like I heard, Robin Sharma was in Kuala Lumpur,
Yep.
the writer who wrote The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So whenever I go and see these people, or I hear them, I knew what my purpose was. I
Okay.
knew what my reason was. I said to myself, I want to go and hear Sharma. I want to hear Robbins, or I want to go for NLP or coaching or script Archimedes because I want to heal myself. I'm looking for healing. I'm looking for acceptance. So I knew what the purpose was. So I started going on this journey in 2000. Like I said,
Yeah.
Robbins was the first time that I hear. And my last, I would say, journey was with Skip Archimedes. He was an international author, coach,
Okay.
and I spent we was a group that spent a couple of days with him, and one of the exercises that he asked us to do was to write a letter to ourselves. And I wrote a letter to myself, and I said that I want to write a book about my journey because I want to inspire those people out there who are going through or is going through the same thing as I did. So it was from the year of 2000, 2017.
Okay. Wow.
See, because
So
I was, yeah, mm,
this book was written in what year?
the book was written 1.5 year, about 2018 to 2017,
Okay.
2017. Yeah,
So it's about
started.
two and a half years old or
Yes,
sort. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would say the book was first written in 2017, 2018. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what does it take to get to that point in time where you say, I now accept myself. I
Mm,
now love myself. I am
mm,
confident. I am strong.
mm.
I am Nora Abu Hassan. And I've
Yeah.
survived everything that's come my way. What does
Yeah.
it take?
I think first and foremost, you need to acknowledge the fact that you have an acceptance problem.
Okay.
That's very important, okay?
Okay.
Because sometimes people wipe things under the carpet,
Yes.
okay? They know they have a problem, but they don't want to confront it, acknowledge it. Because when you know you have a problem and when you know that, hey, you know what? I need to do something.
Yeah.
I need to do something to overcome my problem with whatever it is. So if you cannot do it yourself, I would say seek external help.
Okay.
Seek external help and knock at the right doors and always have a purpose. When you knock at the person's door, whether it's A, B, C, you know why you know why am I going to see it? You know why you're going to see that person because I
Yeah.
want to heal. I want to be better. I want to be better as a person. I want to heal all my emotional scars that came through growing up, through childhood issues, or even teenage, whatever it is. So
Definitely.
accepting yourself first and
All
knocking at
right.
the right doors
All right.
and
So
telling yourself
what
that, hey, you know what, I need to get out from this situation that I'm in before it
so
becomes even
it is self-realization first, isn't it? You need to
it is
realize that you
self-realization.
have a problem and you need to have help.
Nobody will be able to help you, so you yourself will have to realize it.
Definitely.
Nobody. And then getting up from when say for instance if you're down, you yourself have to get up. I'm afraid to tell people can help you to a certain extent.
Yes.
But importantly, orang diri dia yang sendiri tu, punya badan sendiri tu kena bangun sendiri dan bangkit sendiri.
Definitely. Well said.
Yeah. Yes,
All
that's
right.
right. Yes.
All right. So, what was the most difficult part in self-realization?
Weirdly enough, the most difficult part was telling my children about it.
Okay. Why so though? Because they're your children, they're your family.
I
They would
know, I
accept you
know,
whatever it is, right? So
I know.
what was it that,
Because
stood in the
because
way?
I couldn't accept myself. You
Fair
see,
enough.
so if I can accept myself, how can I tell another person? Because I can accept myself. But when I went to that journey of self acceptance, so I started with telling my children first,
Yeah.
and I started telling my close friends. Because maybe friends would have seen it. They would know that, hey, you know what, she's got a scar on her upper
Yes.
lip, or her nose is a little bit out of balance. But because the fact that I hid it behind me, and then I didn't open it. But inside me, I was dying to talk to somebody,
Yeah.
because in the book, I said that it sounds shallow now and really ridiculous, but I said, like, would they friend me if they know? Which is really silly when you think about it now. Okay, but
Yeah.
that was a real struggle.
Definitely, because at that point in time, you really worried about that. So yeah, although it may look like it was trivial back then, right?
Mm.
But
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was real. Yeah.
yeah,
So very
yeah.
nice. Okay. Now, if you have any messages that you'd like to share with us this afternoon with Nora, you can actually type it into the comment box. We've got Jimmy Tan who says, "Good afternoon, Nora. Keep up the good work." And he agrees with you that challenges create our lives narrative. So choose to be kind is definitely always the best. Okay, we've
Thank
also
you.
got a message from Jerry Yap. She says hello to you. And
Hi,
when we
Jerry.
come back, we've got a message asking a question for you. And that question is about how was it like going to school as a young girl? Okay, so we'll come back and answer that question, but I'll be back after a very short break. I promise it's going to be the shortest break this afternoon here on AFO Radio.
Let's get it on. We got some bread made for you.
AFO.
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 AFO. Hold up. It's AFORadio.com.
Let's go.
You're right. For more information, you should visit www.aforadio.com. Now, I'm Mag, and with me this afternoon is Nora Abu Hassan, and she is the author and the person behind the book Born to Smile. It's a book that tells of her story of courage, of self-acceptance, of self-love, and her journey accepting herself with a cleft lip and a cleft palate. So, thank you so much, Nora, for joining us this afternoon.
You're most
Now, I've got a
welcome. Thank
question on
thank you.
our comment section. Jana says, "Hi Nora, how was it like going to
Okay.
school being different?"
Okay, that's a very good question, Jana. Thank you for that excellent question. Every day I would be going to school, and I'll be feeling that, okay, what's going to happen today?
Hmm.
When I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
and vice versa. And I'll be going, okay, is somebody going to call me names today? Is
Yeah.
somebody going to, make me feel bad about myself? So that was the thing that I had to go through from primary even up to secondary.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an easy journey, but I had to go to school.
Yes.
I had to go to
What are
school.
days that you didn't want to go to school?
Actually, all that time almost every day, because I wouldn't anticipate what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I can't, because it's out of my control. And at that
definitely.
point of time, I was so insecure that if people were to call me names, I just couldn't do anything. I would just, at that time, you don't have any defense mechanism, right?
Correct.
And then when you go home, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you know what they tell you is actually true. You know that your lip is somewhat different, and you know that your nose is somewhat different, and you could not do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go and tell a person, hey, don't call me names, because you're so insecure at that time. So what do? You just pent up all these negative emotions inside you, and you could go home, and on occasions you talk to your mother, but you cannot tell your mother all the time, because she says, hey, why are you so sensitive? Children are being children. But you
Mm-hmm.
are sensitive. So what do? You go into the room and play music and listen to Donny Osmond to soothe your soul. So it was not easy.
Definitely, it wasn't an easy journey as well. Now, what were some of the challenges that you faced trying to get your parents to understand what you felt going to school?
I would talk to them, but they will say that you need to go to school.
Mm,
And on occasions, my mother would come and see the teachers or the headmistress, and talk to the headmistress that my daughter is, you know, a bit upset because people are calling her. But how many times can she go to school? you know
yeah.
and even if the teacher of the classroom would tell the class that do not say unkind things, but
Mm-hmm.
at that time primary school you would have lots of children in the whole school from standard 1 to standard 6. You cannot be telling everybody not to
Correct.
call her names. Yeah. So
Correct.
children can come from any angles.
Yeah,
Maybe the classroom was okay, but maybe another child from another classroom you can't
definitely.
control. Yeah. That's why I
Yeah,
said that when, yeah.
yeah, there's no way to control. Like you said, children are being children. But I
Yeah,
think it starts the root cause. Basically, we need to tackle this from the root cause, which is education. So if
that
you
is
start
right.
it from home, telling your children, hey, it's not nice to say bad things to people. If you don't have anything nice, don't say it at all. I guess we can raise children who are more aware of the feelings and
Yes.
emotions of other people around them, right?
Yes. Precisely. That's why when I talk about any bully, I always try to stress the fact that, like, you're right, to echo you, that this anti-bully campaign or awareness must be made from home.
Correct.
That means the parents have to educate the children to be kind and not to pass unkind remarks to any irregular, I mean, regardless of anything, creed, color, religion, height, weight, not just deformities, any.
Definitely, very true. Now, what do you wish people knew more about the effects of bullying, and what do you wish people would do more when it comes to bullying?
Okay, I think that, again, back to what I said before, that I think parents should educate their children
Mm-hmm.
about not bullying other people and not saying unkind, saying not passing unkind remarks. And number two, bullying. I mean, okay, let's admit some children are strong to
Yes.
overcome bullying. Okay, we must admit there are very strong people out there, but there are instances where that you read in the on in the newspaper, in the media, that people being bullied actually go through depression and even end up committing suicide because they
Yeah.
cannot just take the pressure. Because bullying does give a negative effect. It can affect their emotions. It can lead to anxiety, depression, even again suicide. So let's
Mm-hmm.
have a kinder society. Let's have a kinder
Definitely.
society. Yes.
I think a kinder society should be where we're heading to, regardless of an issue, whether
Yeah.
it is because of bullying or whether, discrimination or anything at all. I think once you're a little kinder,
Yes.
there's so much love to share instead
Yeah,
of hatred
precisely.
and hurt and pain that, we're
Yeah.
encouraging. So let's work towards a kinder
Okay.
society.
You
I
see,
truly agree with that.
when my mother gave birth to me, okay, in the 1960s, she was discriminated. You know, people around her and relatives would say that, oh, anak you, and it hurt her because
Yeah,
I
of
was the
course.
firstborn. Now, I belong to a Cleft and Palate Malaysia support group. And
Okay.
there are mothers who have children right now with Cleft and Palate, even grandmother. And I'm talking about 2020, they still come and tell that when, grandmothers come and tell me when they have their children wanting, people around there still say unkind remarks,
Yeah.
right? And then I had a mother, she has a child that's going to school. Even the teachers are saying unpleasant things to the child.
Oh dear, that's
And
terrible.
this is a mother telling me. And this is
Hmm.
not 1960s, 70s. And recently, there was a mother. Okay, this is a true story. because like I said, I belong to this social group. So I've got mothers coming in, even adults coming in. This mother, she brought her daughter to the clinic. Okay. And this daughter is about 1 year old, not belum lagi pergi the just basic
The
repair.
repairment
And
work.
there was
Okay.
another lady, pregnant lady, and she basically just like shoot the daughter away. Now, how does the mother feel?
Yeah.
So the reasons why I'm doing the book, and whenever I talk about this awareness, CLP awareness, that you know what this God has given us.
Yeah.
Zaman-zaman dulu, people would say to the mothers, like, maybe you did something wrong. That's
Yes,
why
I
you have
remember
a
back in the
child.
days. Yes,
That's why you have a child that's like that. But you know what? This is what God has given us.
that's
So
right.
by telling this young mother, it hurts them on an emotional level.
Definitely.
So this is
Definitely.
what I'm saying, discrimination.
Definitely.
All
I
right.
actually never thought about that. Yes, as a mother to a child born with a facial deformity, of any deformity, in fact,
Yes,
you
yes,
too will have to go through an emotional journey
yes,
because
right.
there's so much of discrimination. There's so many people out there who are judging you for something that was already destined, and you had
And
absolutely no way
no
of controlling
control
that.
over it. And
Yes,
surprisingly, it's still happening.
that
Okay,
is
and I have
completely sad.
a young male adult. Okay, he has a cleft and palate, but whatever circumstances during childhood, he was not able to go for intensive speech therapy. So he looks great now. I am so proud of him. But there is a very slight nasal tone, and he's gone for interviews.
Yeah.
Okay, even with the proper credentials, people are turning him down.
All right.
So
Even
do
in
you
the in even in the year 2020, the age of technology, yeah?
so do you think that people are discriminating against these people? So that's why I said discrimination still does exist
Exists, definitely. Definitely. Indeed. Okay.
against the children, against the mothers, against the grandmothers,
Against
against
the
the
whole
young.
family. Definitely. Okay. So I believe that your journey, your whole life's journey motivates you towards championing this whole anti-bullying and, coming up to empower people who struggle with the same issues with you, struggle with self-esteem, struggle with confidence because of this. So what keeps you going?
What keeps me going is going back to the old Nora and
Okay.
looking at the 6-year-old child and looking at the mothers coming to me and telling me we need motivation as well. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
getting to know, I've gotten to know a few young children, and looking at them, looking at their eyes, and looking at them and really knowing how they feel. Because I
Mm,
was like that at one time, and I don't want them to go through that emotional struggle anymore. I want them to have
definitely.
belief in themselves that you know what, auntie, they call me, even though I'm like you, I can become this person. I want them to be inspired that they can grow to become what they want to grow. I
I
look at
love
their
that.
eyes. I've been there before.
I
I've
love
been
that.
there. Yeah.
Well done, Nora. And I think you should continue doing what you do because, inspiring others, especially when they're struggling with the same issue as well, will go a long way. They'll remember you for helping them through this journey. So well
Thank
done. We're going
thank
to
you.
take a final break this afternoon. When we come back, we'll wrap up this show. We'll tell you how and where you can get a copy of the book and how you can follow Nora on her social media platforms as well. But that's all coming up after the break. If you'd like to send us more messages or questions, you are more than welcome to. Just comment below. That's coming up next on AFO Radio.
Let's get it on. We got some bread made for you.
AFO.
AFO.
AFO. AFO. Hold up. It's AFOradio.com.
Let's go.
Go back to my watch party. And no, I think you better switch it off soon because we are going to go online on air.
Let's get it on. We got some bread made for you.
The music.
AFO.
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 AFO. Hold up. It's AFOradio.com.
Let's go.
The whole world. Cardi B is pregnant, and the photo that she released is gorgeous. So I'm actually very happy for her as well. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to AFORadio.com. I am Mag, and with me this afternoon is Nora Abu Hassan. She is the beautiful lady behind the book Born to Smile, and she talks about her journey, growing up, living with a cleft lip and cleft palate, and how she's come to realize that, accept that, and finally, she is now stronger than ever and motivating and inspiring others around her. So, Nora, keep on doing what you do best, and I love that. I think the best way someone actually can realize that they have a problem is to know that they're not alone. There's someone else out there just like them, someone else who's gone through that same journey as well. So, keep it up, Nora.
Thank you, thank you. They're amazing cleft icons currently, and I would like to say a shout out to you guys. I am so proud. I'm so proud of you people. Keep the positive spirit, and they are giving positive encouragement towards each other in the Facebook group, in the chat group, and I love all of you.
Fantastic. Now, for
You are
our
my
viewers,
inspiration. They are my
aw,
inspiration. They are my inspiration.
I think it's the same way both ways. Now, for our viewers and our listeners this afternoon who would like to get a copy of your book, where can they get it from?
Okay, the physical book is currently in the major bookstores, MPH, Kinokuniya, Popular, Times, and Borders.
Okay,
But we have recently collaborated it to be formatted into an ebook.
fantastic.
Yes, so it's on eCentral's platform, which is the Malaysian version of Kindle. Yes,
Fantastic.
eCentral.
And if they like to follow you and follow your story on social media as well, is there any way they can follow you?
Oh, for sure. And even if any of the club patients out there, the young adults, the teenagers, you can always DM me, direct message me. My Facebook is Nora Abu Hassan, and my IG is N Hassan 8, N Hassan
Okay.
8,
N as in the letter N, yeah?
and Nora.
Okay, and
That's right.
Hassan 8. Okay,
Yes.
brilliant. Now, if you have one piece of advice to everyone going through the same journey that you had a long time ago, what would you like to tell them?
Do not allow anyone to label you. All right. Do not allow the whole world to perceive you, because at the end of it, you know who you are. Embrace your strength, okay? Be strong about it, and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Itu yang paling mustahak. And be around people that is going to lift you up. Be around good souls. Be around positive people. That's very important.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Mm.
Would you have the same advice to all mothers who are going through that torment that your mother went through as well? You know how people can be really mean about things. What would you like to tell them?
You know what? God has created us all differently. And do not blame yourself. Even though Maybe perhaps the world wants to blame you as a mother, but it is not your fault. Embrace this, be strong about it. Okay. And again, you're not alone. And
Mhm.
if you feel that you want to reach out to anybody, reach out to the right ones. Knock at the right door. And never rasa diri you yang masalah. We are in it together. Itu yang mustahak.
Brilliantly said. Now, is there a support group for people
Yes,
with cleft lip and cleft palate? Where can we
there
go
is
to?
there is a support group on Facebook which was initiated by the Cleft Lip and Palate Association of Malaysia.
All right.
All right. And in fact, some proceeds of Born to Smile will be going to the Cleft Lip and Palate Association of Malaysia and
Brilliant.
also Kiwanis Mont Kiara because I am also a Kiwanian. I've been a
I
Kiwanian since
see.
2002. Yes.
Wow,
Mm,
brilliant. Okay.
yeah.
All right, Nora, thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me
You
and
are most
sharing your
welcome.
story. It truly opened up my eyes, but I do hope, like you said, there be more kindness in the world. Hey, seriously, let's go back in time and remember what our mothers told us, okay? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. And it doesn't hurt to be empathetic a little bit. And just try and feel how your friend might feel if you see someone who are suffering silently as well. Be compassionate a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah, but most importantly,
Everybody's
be
mm,
kind.
everybody's struggle is
Definitely
different.
different.
Okay, like I
Correct.
said, mine was this, but yours, somebody out there is different. So you
Oh,
never know what
correct.
they are dealing with on a daily basis. So
Absolutely.
stop judging and just be kind. That is a reminder, even for me, actually. Sometimes we can't help it, but like
That's true.
we are human. You are human beings, but everybody's got different challenges, Mac.
True,
Everybody has.
true. I
Let's be
completely
honest.
agree.
Life
Yep.
is not, you know, and
Easy.
easy. We may have challenges with in our family, our careers, our relationship, health, financial, whatever it is. Just be kind.
Definitely. All right. So, Nora, before I leave you, to all our viewers and our listeners this afternoon, what would you like to tell them and maybe remind them how they can get your book once again?
Okay, the books is currently at the major bookstores which I mentioned, and if you feel like picking up, do go. And MPH and Popular actually does it online because since the MCO started, they actually started delivering it online. So again, thank you very much. For listening to me, I really appreciate it, and I hope that we all can just have strive for a better world for humanity and for our children and for our grandchildren, our
Definitely, for
next
sure.
generation.
Definitely. So, thank you from all of us at AFO Radio for
Thank
spending
you for
your
having me.
afternoon with me and sharing your story. We'll definitely get a copy of that book. And hey, if you would like to get a copy of that book, just head on to your nearest bookstore, okay? Because you can get it there. All right. So, thank you for joining us once again. Our final message comes from Ivan O, who says, "Well said, Nora." So, also to Jin Yong, who says, "Hi, Nora. Greetings from the Kiwanis Club of Mont Kiara." Wow, you got support this
Well,
afternoon.
I do belong to Kiwani's Kaamon Kiara. Yes, I
So
do.
thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and
And
keep
thank you.
inspiring. Keep
And thank you
inspiring.
for having me. It has been such a pleasure. And thank you for believing in the mission and the cause of Born to Smile. I really
It has
appreciate it.
it has been an honor. You take care, Nora. Till we
Thank you,
see
man.
you again. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a pleasant day ahead.
You too.
Sending love and light to everyone.